Welcome to P3 Radio.
The monkey only dances as good as the guy grinding the organ handle.
Pachow! 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 Pachow!
This is ridiculous.
Truck goes to the lake.
My daddy's wiener is big as a Coke can.
Cool story, bro.
Hey, genius, it's 2 p.m. Central.
Morning! Why are you shaking like that?
PG3 Radio.
Here's your host, Josh Riley,
I got a boner right now.
Richard Mullican.
Our listeners probably want to hear more about this rat coat.
It's showtime! It's showtime! It's showtime!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of P3 Radio. Coming in hot. I'm Richard Mullican, joined by my co-host and best friend, Josh Briley. Josh, it's a bullshit show before our interview with Jeff Jarrett. Say hey to everybody.
Hey, we're just bullshitting around. It means nothing. You probably should just skip this week and fast forward to next week.
Well, we say that every week. Just try back next time. We'll have better shit for you. One day, you're going to land on some gold, people, and you're going to feel like that panning around for 69 episodes was well worth it. But no, big number, episode 69.
Oh, yeah.
Last week was the you do one and I owe you one or something like that.
Now, that's not how 69 works.
No, last week was 68.
I was making a joke.
Oh, it wasn't good. What was the joke?
Well, let me be Rain
What was
Man
the-
and just ruin it.
What was the joke?
That's actually not a joke.
It's actually not a joke.
That's actually just you trying to be funny.
You want me to restart the show?
Sure.
No, I'm good. But no, we're here on episode 69. Speaking of 69, I was thinking about the other day. I was like, if you have sex with your old lady and you wear your shirt, is that called Donald Duck style? Are you Donald Ducking it? I heard a guy talking about Donald Duck, and I was like, I wonder if, like, because I was just thinking, for some reason, I was thinking about Snoop Dogg and Doggy Style.
Yeah,
and
that Donald Duck style.
that's why I hit it from the back when I keep my shirt on. And I'm usually really drunk, so I'm belligerent and can't really speak well.
Donald Duck style, bitch. Bitch. Tell you, that's what you need to tell the old lady next time. I'm gonna get you Donald Duck style, baby. I'm sorry, what?
Where I speak incoherently and leave my shirt on.
I'm gonna wear a fucking little sissy ass Frenchman hat or whatever he wears.
A sissy ass Frenchman hat.
Yeah. You know those fucking cliche artist hats, berets or
Beret, yeah. It's also a Monica Lewinsky hat. We just actually watched that Monica Lewinsky. Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, that's what Big Bill wanted.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we don't talk about politics, but it wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty insightful. All the stuff that they didn't go into detail about, like how things happen, but they went into detail about like the whole.
Well, she
events.
rubbed something one way or another and made something come out. Now, that's a definite. That was in the evidence.
Why wasn't you in that documentary? And she's like just sitting there talking, my livelihood, my life was on the line right now, and I was about to have to testify. She rubbed something somewhere or another.
Hey, somewhere or another it got on that dress.
But that was a good documentary. And you watch documentaries?
Not much anymore.
No. Used to be big into them
I
back in
was.
the craze of the late 90s, and it was all rap music and documentaries for me.
No, I was more like when I first got Netflix, I was watching a
Yeah.
lot of documentaries.
There was a
but
lot of them on there.
Now, I could give a fuck less.
Hmm.
If it's not something that I specifically want to know
Want to
about,
see? Yeah.
and I don't care. Doesn't bother me.
Well, I got a video here. It's not a documentary. I don't know why that just popped in my head, but what would you say the craziest thing? Have you ever had a moment where you're thinking, I'm going to die?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You want to elaborate? You want to elaborate?
Well, I mean, you didn't say, okay, we're going to talk about death flashing before your eyes.
Well, I mean,
or...
have you ever had a moment? Yeah.
Well, I figured you would say, well, that's good because let's watch this moment.
We are.
You
but
didn't say, well, yeah.
You have to think about it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've had moments to where, yes, I've almost died.
Like where you thought, man, I could have died right there.
Yes.
What can you think of one?
Well, I'm on a job site. I'm maybe 20 years old,
Right.
maybe younger than that. I just started, and we were plumbing or whatever, and there was a electrical wire that was in the way of where one of the vents that we were going to have to be running.
Right.
And my buddy, he says, well, the guy I was working with, he was my buddy. He says, we got to get this out of the way. And I don't even know. I think this is old. So we could theoretically just cut this out, and then they're going to reroute all their bullshit anyways.
Right.
The electricians haven't been here yet. And I got the fucking bolt cutters out of the bag, and I've got it on the wires. And I'm fixing to go to town, snip it out, get it out of the way. And for some reason, he's like, hey, hold up. Just let me go to the fuse box real quick. I mean, I just want to be sure. But 10 seconds before, he's that's old. Cut it out of the way. He goes to the fuse box. He said, man, your ass would have died. And he said, because that shit's live as fuck. And I just cut it off. He said, don't even do anything with that. And we got off of work that day, and I'm driving home, and that's when it hit me. I was like, damn, I would have fucking died.
Right.
Because this wasn't, like a little bullshit, little tiny ass wire. This was like one of them fucking industrial,
Right.
with fucking
Went to a
copper
water
coil.
heater.
Yeah, one of them big
So,
ones,
yeah.
At least a 220 or, whatever the next set of bullshit at 4
Right.
or whatever.
Were they insulated wire snips?
It was black wire. And it was one of them gimmicks to where you ever
No, I
seen,
meant your wire snips. Were they insulated?
Oh no. It was bolt cutters, dude.
Oh, gotcha. So it was like metal and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes. Yeah, you probably would have died.
Yeah, I know. And that really fucked
They have
with
to
me.
get under the house to fish you out. and
No, it was
everything?
in a building. It was an old building, and that's why we thought that it was old. Because we
Right.
were doing a remodel deal.
Right.
But yeah, that was that would have been a really, really bad way to go, man.
Well, I guess the only time that comes to my mind, I'm sure there's been others. Of course, we always risked life and limb every time we used to take that hairspray can and light it on fire. Like, you imagine if that thing would have blown up, how much of our hand it would have took off?
And the thing about it was, too, I remember we would be like, look, it's staying lit even after we ain't got the fire to it. Oh, yeah, that's safe.
Yeah. There's no reverse valve on that thing, like a blowtorch, It could go back into the tank and blow up.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, we lucked out a lot of times doing that shit, stuff like that.
We should have I can think of several times a bottle should have blew up in our hands because not only was it hairspray, we used air freshener,
Yeah.
anything that would. I think we had a problem.
Yeah.
Back in the day, for real.
Probably the smartest one was when our friend Denver had that one that was it wasn't like an aerosol one. It was one of those pump ones.
Yeah.
And you could pump it like, psst, psst, and it shot out a little mist.
It
and he
looked
would-
like a clam shell.
Yeah.
I remember that. We played with that thing for like 2 hours.
You could light you could light the match or the lighter, and you could go. Psst, and that was all it did. It just blew out one big fireball.
Right.
But even that was dangerous because, like, if you held the thing here and you didn't have if the wind was blowing back,
Right.
you could have burned your hand. So we were dumb. But I guess the only other time I could remember in my life, like, could have been over was that time we got off of our couch, went to bed, and like as soon as our head hit the pillow, the couch we had just been sitting on was thrown across the room because the truck hit our house.
Oh yeah, that
So-
was.
And you remember that chair? That it wasn't like a chair. It was a couch, and it wasn't like a normal couch. It was one of those old timey recliner couches.
Yeah, with
And
the
heavy
the
as
little
fuck.
gimmick in the
Yeah.
middle for drinks and all that. Yeah.
Heavy as fuck too. It was like it would take two people, and you wasn't lifting the thing. You were going to scoot it around and try not to rip your floor, or tear up your floor too much. But yeah, it threw that thing across the house like it was like a rag doll.
I remember that night, man. I came down there. I lived down the street from you
Yeah.
at the time. And yeah, I remember going and just, it looked unreal.
Yeah.
Your whole fucking side of your house was like,
Well, honestly,
in.
it didn't do like much damage in comparison. Like it knocked out between the two windows. It looked worse than what it was. But I tell you, it's hard to get back over that. Like it took about a year for me to feel comfortable sitting on a couch right there again. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's kind of like the way I was with tornadoes or whatever after the one when we were kids.
Right.
You know, because that's another time I almost died.
Right.
I mean, if it would have been, 50 feet closer, I was going outside when the motherfucker passed. I wanted to know what was making that noise.
What did that noise sound like? A freight train.
Seriously, dude. It was like my
You were
ear.
in high school, wasn't you?
Yeah. I was...
Freshman?
No,
No,
I
you
was
were,
16
Yeah.
at the time. Yeah.
You stayed over at my house that night because we didn't have school the next day.
No, I didn't. I was at Bethany's, my first girl, well, my first wife to be when y'all were kids or I was a kid too.
But I remember you came over at some point that night.
Yeah, I mean, I went away after all because, all the power in the whole town went out. And I went over to my grandma's or whatever, and I may have came over there.
I want to say you spent the night too, because like my grandmother's brother came over, and he didn't have any power, so we had like no power, but we had something, a way you could cook or something.
Huh.
And I can't remember what it was, but that next morning she was like, "Well, what's your phone number? I'll give you a call later and make sure you're okay." And he goes, "Well, I don't know my phone number." And she was like,
I remember that.
Yeah. He was like, "Well, I'll never call myself."
I think the deal with that was,
he was dodging my grandmother.
No. There was a gas leak.
Yeah.
Over at my house. I couldn't stay there.
That's right.
They evacuated everybody, and guess who stayed at my house?
Your dad?
Exactly.
Oh, hell, I ain't leaving these coon dogs out here.
That was that, and it was nobody's coming in my house when they loot everything to get my guns and get everything that I worked hard for.
Now, if y'all excuse me, I'm getting tired. I got to go to bed.
Yeah, he didn't give a fuck about the gas. I sleep in a fucking gas mask. I don't give a damn.
You ain't think I got a gas mask? You ain't think I got a gas mask? Shit.
Why don't you just get on out of here, Frida? Go on to your mama's house. Take the boy. It'll be fine. Yeah, but anyways, go ahead.
But I just remember that. I don't know. It's like little things like that. Like, I can't sleep in a gas mask. I sleep in a gas mask every damn night.
I guarantee you he did, too. Oh, man.
That's funny.
I mean, seriously, right now, you're a grown-ass man. You have a family. You got a kid and all that. If somebody came after a disaster like that we had back then, so a police officer, whoever comes to your door and says, "Sir, you need to leave. We got a major gas leak in the area. It's probably not safe." Your initial reaction is not "fuck you," correct? Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
She's like, "Thank you, sir. We'll go try to find a family member down the street's house we could live at or stay at for a little while until the situation is corrected and our block doesn't blow up." That'd be great.
That's not my old man's way to
Kiss my ass.
Fuck you. Ain't nobody stealing my shit. No, it's a plan. They trying to get us all out of here. They gonna go after all our shit when we leave.
So why did you end up staying with me that time? Was it just...
Probably because we didn't have school the next day, and I was like, "Well, hell, I'll just go over here. I ain't gonna stay at my granny's with no power."
We slept on that couch that we talked about, the fold, because I had a broke arm.
Yeah. Ironically, there was no cars crashing into us that night.
No, it was the same couch. I think it was that green couch, and man, that thing made it a while, didn't it? But yeah, man, I remember we slept there. That was probably the first time we had talked in a while because the tornado happened like a week and a half after my arm broke.
Why would we have not talked?
Because there was a time that you didn't come by after I broke my arm.
I wonder why.
Well, I don't know. I just... You're looking at me
like you don't fucking know.
I didn't do it. I didn't say anything.
I know you didn't say anything.
My mom was overprotective.
Your mom didn't say anything to me either. Your mom understood.
Your
grandma told me it was my fault. It's your fault that this happened. You knew what you were doing. And then y'all drove away from the skating rink. That's literally what happened. I fucking cried, dude.
Was my grandmother with me?
Yes, she was in the back seat. in the back seat.
I didn't think my grandmother was with me. I guess
Yes.
she was. I don't remember much.
Because I don't know if I called. I can't remember who
We were
called.
trying to find my mom. That was before cell phones.
Yeah.
So we had that payphone at the skating rink.
I think I had to call and tell him
I don't remember.
Richard something's wrong with Richard.
We
hurt
thought
his
it. We
arm.
thought it was my elbow or my shoulder. My shoulder came out of place.
Yeah.
And we were trying to talk the officer there into just putting my shoulder back in place. You remember that? And he's like, I ain't doing that shit. Yeah, let me put your shoulder back in. Oh God, that would have been horrible if he would have tried.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like
probably-
my arm just kind of falls off.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's what she told me, dude.
I didn't
And
know that.
You didn't. Well, you were sitting in the front seat in pain, like you were still all fucked up from pain. But yeah, she said, "Yeah, it's your fault. You're the reason this happened." And then y'all drove away. And dude, for real, man. If you can ask my girlfriend at the time or whatever, man.
You may call her now, or
Well, you could
have asked her,
dude. I've cried like a fucking baby, man.
I'm sorry.
I was like, oh my God.
I didn't know any of that happened, to be honest with you.
I'm never going to be able to get to go over there anymore. I've ruined our friendship. They're not going to let him be friends with me. I thought all that shit, man.
No, I mean, it wasn't your fault. I mean, I guess, I don't know if we've talked about it before, but we were arm wrestling, and I had more strength in my right arm than my left, and you had more left arm strength. And we stalemated on our left hand. We were arm wrestling, and all of a sudden, like my humerus bone, the bone that goes from your elbow to your shoulder, just snapped in half.
It's the damnedest shit I've ever heard.
It was
too.
weird. I mean,
I thought the table broke because it made that big pop. And then
Yeah.
I look at you, and I'm looking down at the table. I'm expecting the table snapped in half.
yeah, it was like you were probably thinking we're going to be in trouble. I remember looking at your face. All right, so this is what I remember. I remember we used to have this guy that was he's Daniel, and Daniel used to always walk up to you while you'd be arm wrestling or something and punch you in the arm. Well, I remember I felt something in my arm pop, and I thought he just punched me in the arm. And I was like, man, he got me pretty damn good. But I was trying to no-sell it because, teenage boy. We were sitting around teenage girls. And I was like, don't no-sell it. You don't want to look like you're a wimp. I looked over and nobody was there. And when I looked back at you, your face, you had this big, like your eyebrows up and your mouth wide open, shocked face. And then all of a sudden everything started tightening up. I was like, ah. And it was my shoulder. I thought it was my shoulder came out because the pain was coming out of my upper arm, like right here, like right around where my shoulder meets my arm. That's where I was getting all the pain from. I don't know why. It wasn't like actually in. And I had a Tennessee Vols national championship shirt and a jacket, like a little fleece pullover that both of them I had just gotten for Christmas. All right, not the Tennessee Vols shirt. I got that one right after they won the national championship. So that's how long ago it was. And I remember I didn't want them to cut it off. I was like, I love that jacket. I don't want you to cut it off. So I had to get it off. Well, when I got my jacket off, I pulled it over my arm, and that's when I saw my arm kind of doing the rubber pencil thing.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh. And my mom like looked at me like, like looking all like sick and like, oh no. But no, man. But yeah, that was the first time I saw you after that. I didn't know she had said that to you.
Well, yeah, you were in the front seat. Oh. And dude, I remember during that time because we didn't go to school or anything like that for a while.
Yeah.
And the power had got back on, so that's when all the lights came on, and we're all sitting in the living room or whatever, and your mom's joking around, and we're laughing. My girlfriend at the time, she's there. We're all having a good time. I look over, and your grandma's doing that hand on the chin, pissed off, not looking at anybody particularly, just fucking pissed. She didn't talk to me for a long time after that, man.
She had a way with, I don't know, she would do stuff like that, and she would develop a story in her mind, and that was the way it happened. She probably, if you would have asked her, she probably didn't even know what we were doing. Like, when we said arm wrestling, she probably thought we were just, like, wrestling, and that you put me in some shoot hold and broke my arm. You knew what you were doing. But she kind of looked at you like one of hers anyways. She talked to you and belittled you just like everybody else in the family.
I know. I guess that's why, it hurt so bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it too personal.
Well, I did at the time, but I'm over it now.
I told you about how. Yeah, I'm still carrying a grudge.
No, I'm begrudging to her.
Where's she buried at? I'm having a little talk with her.
Oh man,
You're just out there crying every night. I didn't know what I was doing. It's not my fault. Dude, she went crazy there towards the end. And I talked about this before. She was swearing up and down that I was letting my now wife, but it was my girlfriend back then, that I was sneaking her in and opening up these 20-year painted shut windows.
I know you sneak her in and I can't even get this window up right now. Oh yeah, I bet this
nailed shut. They're nailed shut with these big they're not roofing nails. I don't even know if they make these nails anymore. They're almost like stakes, like
mini railroad ties, like tie nails or whatever.
But I mean, they were nailed shut and painted shut. Like, we finally had to get one open to put an air unit in, just a window unit in. Dude, it took forever. I'm like, if I had snuck somebody in this window, it would have been a Shawshank Redemption type way.
Now I think I'm just gonna cut the floorboards out and we'll just get in that way.
Probably would have been easier than getting that window open.
Probably so.
But no, she would do stuff like that. And I remember you shaved your head for the first time. She didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. I mean,
you tried to color it or something?
Yeah, like I said, Eminem was big back then.
Not at the time. That
Yes,
was 1997.
No, that was 1998, and he was really big at that point. He was really big.
Okay.
No, 99. My bad.
No, it was 98 because we were doing. That was the first video. That was 97.
98 was when
that was 97. No, it was 98. It was May of 98.
Yeah, because school had just let out, and right as school was letting out, that's right. I got the hair dye, and I wanted blonde, and my mom did it. Bless her heart. We didn't do it right because it turned. I looked like a calico cat. Some parts were orange, some parts were.
Was you doing highlights, or was you doing?
No, I was going to dye my whole hair fucking Ric Flair blonde.
Yeah.
It did not work that way. I had blonde, brown, red, orange. It looked awful. Oh, that's what funny. My mom said. You kind of looks like a calico cat.
So who made the decision just to shave it?
Well, she called my cousin, Dwayne.
Is the one that's getting the truck?
Yeah, she was like, "Look, you're still getting the truck. I need this advice." And she was like, I don't know why she called him. He has black hair. Like, when the fuck has he ever dyed it?
Right. He's just the only man that she could think of that had long hair.
Well, he's around rock and roll.
He keeps up with hair care products.
But he's like, I don't know if you should dye it again because you've already stripped whatever.
Right.
You might make his hair fall out. So it's like, well, you can shave it. You want to do that? I was like, yes, I guess. God damn. Shaved it. I had to shave it almost all the way to the scalp.
You did. And you still had blonde tint to it. A hue.
Oh, man.
So you look like a guy. You like a kid that was losing his hair.
Like I got some disease or something. Going through treatments.
You're like me. You had the brown eyebrows. And you had this thin blondish hair that just
looked like an indie wrestler from the late 90s.
What if you told my grandma? Because I remember the whole thing about it was you got mad because I don't know why, but I still remember this. Do you remember what she said you looked like?
No.
It was, I don't know why, but she said, she's like, you look like a shit-eating dog. I'm like, I don't remember it hurt your feelings, which it should have. That's a mean thing to say to a teenager.
A kid.
Yeah, she wasn't very nice.
Wow.
But yeah.
I don't remember that. I guess I blocked it out.
But I mean, the thing about it, thanks for bringing up that repressed memory. But I remember, I think she just
shit-eating dog.
She got that haircut. Looks like a shit-eating dog.
I love that.
But but at the time you took it hard. I remember coming up to you and you were like all quiet. I was like, "What's wrong?" And you were like, "You buzzed your hair." Chris, I think Chris buzzed his hair at some point too.
Yeah.
You're like, "But I look like a shit-eating dog," which it was true. I mean, that was bullshit. But like I said, she abused all of us verbally. Why not get you too? But
oh man, that's hilarious.
There are times I look back on that and I'm like, Eh. I loved her, but because my grandmother. But man, psychologically, she put a lot of us through some hell.
Nah, I mean, I know
Not
what you're
you-
saying.
I'm talking about our family.
But that's how grannies from that time period are.
Yeah, but I don't think I
They
have.
were raised up rough,
Yeah, I guess so.
And back in those days, you wasn't a little punk. I don't give a damn what you are. You're gonna get out there, milk the cows, and do what the fuck you got to do.
But I feel like short hair would have been like the thing that she was like, because you had a bowl cut, imagine Justin Bieber bangs all the way around your head. That's kind of, you know what I'm talking about.
I remember.
So why would she prefer that over a high and tight, buzz cut?
Well, I guess because bowl cuts were in back then.
I guess
She was. Oh, why'd he do that?
he had beautiful
Oh,
hair.
shit eating dog.
It looks like a shit-eating dog. Which that's the worst insult I've ever heard, by the way. There's that buzzing noise
Thanks,
back in.
Richard.
No, I mean, it's like not
And
the
it
word.
was about you too. I've heard all kind of
No,
shit.
I mean, I feel like it's just
I've watched videos of the Nazis and some of the people at Auschwitz.
Jesus.
But what my granny said to you, that's the worst of the worst.
I wouldn't worse that on a shit-eating dog.
Man,
But
yeah, I totally forgot about that.
oh, my bad. Didn't mean to open up that wound and throw some
Yeah,
bleach in it.
so that's two negatives about my childhood that I've
Remember that time?
reignited the flame.
Remember
of.
that time my grandmother yelled at you for breaking my arm, then called you a shit-eating dog?
No, that's why I broke his arm.
Did I ever have
It was after the shitty dog thing.
No, it was.
No, it was
It was after. It was after.
because that was like '99 when the arm breakage happened.
I don't know what that buzzing noise is.
It's that wire. See, when you're stopping it when it's fucking with it.
There you go. I think it's my headphones. I think I need to. Keeps doing it. There. Maybe that'll.
Well, just sit completely still like you got a
try
stick.
not to move.
Here, put the stick up your ass, and you won't move anymore. Powder and pouring it onto your butthole.
I didn't have the mics turned up.
It's kind of like taking dill powder and pouring it onto your butthole.
There we go. I love that drop, by the way.
I do too. Man, that motherfucker that told me about it, you ought to have seen the look I gave him. And then I went and I asked my mom. I said, "Mom, what is dill powder?"
How old were you?
I was probably
6?
No, man. I was a grown man.
And then you went and asked your mother about this?
I asked her what exactly dill powder was. I didn't give her any
Oh,
context.
okay. Mom, is it true dill powder tightens up a
buttholes.
vajay's?
And JJ's. Is that true?
Yes. Just ask your daddy about it. Boy, you want to know about dill powder, son? By the way, Dwayne's getting the truck. But go ahead. I've wrecked many a women. Yeah,
I carry this shit in my wallet.
I go to Sam's to get a big industrial size thing of. I just usually coat it on there with a paintbrush.
See, what you do is you stick the head in petroleum jelly, then sprinkle some of that dill powder on the end there, and that does the work for you, boy.
Hey, there's one time I was stuck on her like a dog. Couldn't get out.
Locked up for about 3 hours. That was back when I was a kid. Her daddy came in there with a fucking water hose.
We all-
Sprayed us down.
Finally, we just gave up and played gin rummy. It's like, why is that? That seems really specific.
Thank God that's not how all sex ends. You
What,
know what I
just
mean?
stuck to
Or you're
somebody?
locked up for like, God, I would never do it. If he had to be right by that motherfucker's side for the next 3 hours.
So Josh isn't a cuddler, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man.
It would sure make that after piss thing very awkward.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do something. It's gonna feel weird.
Just roll with it.
It'd be great.
No.
Just roll.
I want to.
You got any towels we can lay down? We got to do this like a sack race to get to the bathroom.
No, seriously. You open the door. Let's explore.
Why not?
All right. I wonder how did the first guy? Obviously, we're just going to blame it on the guy because more than likely that's whose fault it is.
With the dill powder?
No, not that. But like the whole pissing thing. How did that first guy? Because those are special fantasies and whatnot that certain people like. Like the first guy that's like, all right. Now,
oh, okay. I thought you meant like.
Done,
hold on. Okay, I thought you meant like pissing after sex. I'm like, I think that's just
yeah,
biology.
Yeah, that's when they're doing it, but it's where they're doing it. The first guy that's like, all right, now this is what I'm gonna do after I get done, and I'm gonna take that after piss instead of going to the bathroom. I'm just gonna piss all over you. Does that make you feel anything, baby? Or how many times did that guy strike out before he found the one? Right. I was like, oh yeah. I'm
pretty sure after he said it, he was like, come on, I'll give you another ounce of Coke if you just do it. All right.
God. You would think, no offense, if that's your bag and you're a sober person.
Weird. It's fucking weird, man.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But to each its own,
Yeah, I guess.
But god damn, is that fucking weird.
I've never done I can get into some weird things, but pissing and shit, no, can't do it.
And and I can see, it being rough for you, like, okay, I'll just piss on you, blah, blah, blah. And you get that one girl to agree to that or whatever. And if that's your thing, then whatever. But, the guy, he's like, all right, now this time, what I'm going to do is just open your mouth up. No. Now you're going, hey, come on now. That's fucking gross.
Two extra ounces of cocaine, baby.
Has to be something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be a drug transaction or something because
I think really though there are people that are really demented in that way,
right?
And they no kind of drugs or anything. They just like that.
There's somebody locally, a female
that's like
older
that?
Lady. I know that back when I was working the door. I used to work the door for a local establishment, checking IDs and stuff. Yeah. Occasionally, I didn't do it like all the time. But I watched this one older lady proposition a friend of mine and a few other people about going across the street where they had this little garden and taking a piss over there.
Wow, on her.
It was implied, yes.
Wow.
We could go over the bushes and piss.
Oh my God. That is fucking like goddamn outer space shit.
Yeah.
I have never had that proposition to me. I've never seen that in person.
Did you ever see the 2 Girls 1 Cup video?
Yeah.
I was hoping you hadn't. I was going to show it to you.
Oh, man.
That's messed up, isn't it?
Yeah. I seen a friend showed me when that was new or whatever. It blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Because if you've never seen something like that, but goddamn, man, I can't. Did you say anything to her? Like, are you fucking serious? Did you rib her or anything?
I didn't know her that well. I was just like, can you believe what that motherfucker just said to him?
God damn.
Yeah.
Did she know these people?
Julie knows her.
No, I'm saying
my wife,
the people that she was asking. Had she ever met these people?
Yes, they weren't strangers.
Wow.
Like she knew of them, and she's old enough to where she could be. I'll say that she could possibly be She could possibly be a young mom for us.
That's fucking wild, man.
Yeah. We'll have to ask Julie about it when we get off of this.
I don't think I want to talk about it anymore.
That's a long toilet flush. Can you imagine? Be like,
you check that flapper out. That motherfucker's staying open too long.
So it'd be like, hey Josh, you want to come over here and piss in the bushes? I'm good.
Fuck you.
And also, we could.
Shit.
No, man, we got way off topic here.
But it's good to get a deep dive into outer space sometimes because that shit is real. Just like you've never told me that story. That's fucking.
No.
I can't believe, man. If I had seen that, and this, especially if she asked me, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with you? God damn. Did your fucking parents give you away to wolves?
What happened?
Back when you were a kid?
What happened to you?
God almighty. Whew. I mean, and it's one thing like, texting or emailing somebody over the internet. And if that's your thing, like I said, I could see approaching people like that.
It's got to be a very small percentage of people.
It has to be.
I mean, there has to be a very small like, you know how people talk about like back in the day how hard it was if you were gay to find another person that back in the day
that would admit that they were
openly and like trying to find somebody had to be hard.
Oh yeah.
So you imagine like trying to tell somebody it's like, I like long walks on the beach. Oh, what else do you like? I like I like Ruth Chris Steakhouse. It's a great steakhouse. It's great. And I also like that. Do you listen to Skinner? You listen to Skinner at all? I'm talking to you. Do you listen to Skinner?
I love
Also
Skinner.
Piss on Me. It's like, what? Wait. Yeah, Simple Man was good. Freebird. Yeah, I like Freebird. Did you hear
Now,
what
after
I said?
we go to that steakhouse, I think you could just take a big shit in my mouth after we're done, and that'd be great. Sorry, what? I think I'm a little bit tired right now.
I think I'm gonna go back to my home where the gas leak is. I think somebody's going to.
God damn. Yeah, I would have to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You know what? Now I want to know what your dad would say about that.
About if a woman asked him that?
Yeah. I was, what has he ever heard of that?
You got a kiddie pool I can piss into. This thing holds a lot of stuff now.
I'm part camel in two ways. I put a camel to shame with the size of it. No, it would be nice if we could get like some questions for your dad, and just every once in a while, Dad, have you ever heard of this? And just record his answer on your phone.
Yeah, I wish. I needed to test like the audio quality of my phone.
We've got that portable. I could let you have it and take it home. And...
yeah. Hey, Dad. Never mind this mic.
No, I mean, you'd ask him. It was like, you ever heard about this?
He wouldn't sell it.
He wouldn't sell it in front of a mic. He'd have to be wired.
I'd have to be like an informant or something to where walk in with a wire or turn the recorder on my phone.
Oh, I've got a perfect recording app for you.
Remind
me, it's really good. You'd have to hold your phone in your hand. You could turn it off and it would stay recording, but you could hold your phone in your hand while you're talking to him, and he'd never notice, and it would pick up. If you're in a room, it's really going to pick up. If you're outside, it'd be a little harder. But if you're in like
usually our conversations is either on the porch.
That would work.
Or, standing around his workshop bench.
That would work perfectly.
Set my phone on the bench.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
Good you have to do that. You think he'd be all right with it? Like, if he found out you were recording him, what would happen?
He would probably try to kill me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like literally kill you, or he would just yell at you?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've never put him in that position, but yeah, what does my instinct say? I mean, he might shoot me with a 22. That may not kill me.
Oh, get up, Joshua.
God damn, I shot you in the leg. What are you crying for? Don't you tell your mom about this shit now.
I don't know. I think you think he would clam up if you told him there was a microphone?
Fucking furious.
Really?
Furious. God damn, he would. And then again, he's been a little tired himself before. My mom said she was like, so-and-so is going to be on Joshua and Richard's show next week. Hell, they ought to get me on there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, he'd be perfect. And then I'm thinking, after he gets untired, he's going to be mad that he was on there.
No, next time you immediately take him up on that. You should probably write down like a handful of questions just the next time you're around him and he's tired, just to ask him and be like, you want to be on our show? Cool, I got some questions for you. And just record him. And then, hopefully he doesn't get mad and be like, don't you put none of that on the show. We already put it out 3 weeks ago.
Well, take it off. Take it down now. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think... I may be overselling it because I'm not his fucking friend. I don't know how he acts. But,
right. I'm not his friend.
No.
He just said that like,
no.
It's just dad. It's your dad. I'm not his friend.
I'm not his fucking friend.
He used to tell me that in my birthday cards. Happy birthday, Joshua. No, you are not my friend.
I have seen how he acts around friends.
Right.
And I know how I act around friends, but I also know how I act around my kids.
Right.
And he acts a certain way around me.
Oh, yeah.
So... like I said, I'm not his fucking buddy, so I don't know how he would really act.
That would be hilarious, though. Happy birthday, Joshua. You are not my friend.
You ain't my friend. I'm only giving you this card because it's what I'm supposed to do.
I've seen your dick size. I don't know if you're my son.
I said, your mama said, he'll grow into it.
Bullshit. It better grow on him because it ain't getting looking like nothing right now.
It's just because he's chubby right now. He loses a little weight.
They used to put about 30 pounds of weight in that dick.
Oh, man. But I mean,
Son, you been pouring dill powder on that thing?
Oh, man.
You know what? I was sitting there looking at the time. We've been going without a commercial break. I would like to go a full show without a commercial break.
Yeah.
We should probably do a live read, though, and just say, hey, if you're into Christmas cookies, go to P3.
Actually, maybe they should just go to tinyurl.com/P3cookies.
Yeah.
Get your loved one or your
Christmas cookie.
your mama or your daddy, if he's not your fucking
You
friend.
greasy granny. That was the whole thing.
Get them some cookies.
Also, the wrestling thing that we have, it's P3 Radio, not P3, tinyurl.com/P3 Wrestle for all the stuff at highspots.com. What else do we have? What's some of those other footy pajamas?
Well, we got tinyurl.com/P3 Sleepy. We got fucking pajamas with ass flaps.
Assless pajamas.
Yeah, they come assless. It's a kinky thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their thing, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Well, this is a thing.
You like shitting on people? Imagine how quickly you could do it and the comfort of footy pajamas. I guess that's all the ones we have. Of course, we have the vape, P3 Vista. It's tinyurl.com/P3 Vista. And we really need to get into our sponsorship game a little bit better. I think once basketball season ends, we will have more time to do that. But the reason why I brought up the whole thing at the beginning of the show is there was this hand gliding video that was out on Facebook. Have you seen it?
I have not.
All right.
Not anything recent.
Well, I have it queued up there. Hit play, and we'll have to describe what we're seeing. I'll let you read out the words here. Remember to sound them out if they get a little difficult.
Remember to go fuck yourself if you forget where to go.
Play.
My first time hang gliding had an unexpected twist when I left the ground unattached from the glider. Warning, content may be disturbing to some, including my wife. Swiss mishap.
This sounds like... all right, so it's a guy on a hang glider. If you haven't seen it, it's everywhere. He looks like he's harnessed, right? But as you can see, it says there, not attached, attached. So the...
Oh, shit, the buckle...
It's not attached to the top.
Oh, man.
And he realizes it immediately. Look. He realizes he's not attached in.
God
He
damn.
shouldn't be that low. His head is where the landing gear is. All right, so...
And, you know, my first instinct... Oh, man. Do you let go of one, you know, like...
What did that say?
Pilot is having trouble, but he's trying to
Just
control
it. Yeah.
But my thing is, do you let go of one of them to try to reach your strap so you can strap it on?
No,
to
there
him?
is no. You'd have to have core strength enough to push yourself up, and then pull yourself up, and then push yourself up with your upper body to hook in. There's just no way.
If
that's me, I fell off like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like we're pushing off and I just fall off the damn glider. I don't have that upper body strength to hold on like that.
That one guy, he's a fucking trooper. He's got a hold of the pilot's got a hold of the guy's harness with one arm and trying to steer the damn thing
Is
with
he
the other.
moving the camera there in the front?
I think that's just on a rope.
Oh, okay.
A GoPro.
I think my left hand is making an imprint on the metal bar. So yeah, he's got it with his left hand and his right hand. I don't know, but the guy's got him by the collar too, like the driver of the aircraft. They were trying to make a quick landing, and he made a left turn, and it was like off the side of a mountain, really. So they're going towards the landing pad. Like, look how high up he is, and he's trying his best. Like, he's getting tired. You imagine? They're higher than the trees right now.
They're higher than like 5 trees. Oh,
Yeah.
God damn, man.
Does that make you nervous?
Well, not as much as like watching them Russian guys with the skyscrapers and doing the handstands and shit on the ledges.
Yeah.
Dude, that
look, he says can't hold on much longer. He is like well above housetops.
As soon as I'm like level with a tree, I'm jumping.
Really? Almost there. Look, now they're coming in really fast. They're probably going about 40 miles per hour right here. This is coming in hot. And he's probably about the height of, let's just say, he's probably a good 10 feet off the ground right there when he lets go.
God, I bet he kissed the ground.
Broke his wrist.
That's it.
Just broke his wrist. This guy lands safely.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. Upon impact, my right wrist suffered a fractured distal radius fracture, which required surgery. So he had to have surgery and everything. And the titanium plate, I was released the following afternoon. And then there's images of the actual screws. I also tore my left bicep tendon holding on as long as I did. It beats the alternative. This was the first day of the vacation in Switzerland. Base jumping tomorrow? So,
hell no.
While the pilot made a critical error in our pre-flight setup by not attaching me to the glider, he did all he could to get me down to the ground as quickly as possible and grabbing onto my harness and flying with me one-handed. I will go hang gliding again, as did not get to enjoy my first flight.
Shit.
Wow. That's, I don't know. Hang gliding sounds like it would be fun. And I think everybody always said hand gliding. I went hand gliding, which sounds like something that'll earn you like an extra $5 at a truck stop. But
if I'm gonna give you the hand glide, baby. That's gonna be $10 extra.
All right, we'll do it. There ain't no females there. Let's be honest. Anyways,
any of them that don't talk like this. Ooh, that's a raspy voice on you, ma'am. I smoke a lot of cigars. My kids need supply boxes.
that's a full name beard there too. No, man. I saw that video and it immediately made me nervous. I was like, really? I don't think I could hold on that long.
Oh no. I mean, I know you've done
adrenaline.
the test. You've done the test when you were a kid, like hanging on the jungle gym,
right?
Just to see how long you can hang before you had to, your fingers let go and you just dropped.
Right.
Well, as I'm remembering, my shit wasn't that long. You know, like right. I was maybe 10 seconds and then I'm letting go.
Well, of course, like I said, you get that adrenaline, like, surge.
It's life or death.
It's life or death, and you know if you let go, you're dead. So you can do a lot of things with that adrenaline.
Yeah,
but
well, you got the people picking up cars and shit off of people, and
right.
You know, adrenaline's a motherfucker.
Man, I could not imagine. I could not imagine doing the. Well, it's kind of like this. It's like you can walk down a sidewalk just fine, right? But if you took the sidewalk and put it in between two skyscrapers, 300 feet off the ground. And could you walk across that sidewalk to the other side skyscraper? There's no side. There's no rail. Yeah. There's just an open sidewalk. You could walk off without falling. You know you can. You walk down a sidewalk all the time.
Yeah. It's the wind and your equilibrium at that point.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it's still freaky. I mean,
oh, goddamn,
it's the same distance that you walk all the time, but you just change the environment a little bit, and it's like, I don't think I could do this.
Yep. It throws it for a loop. But like I say, you know, if there's $1 million on the other side, I'll run really fast. I'm skipping across that motherfucker. I'm
just $1 million?
Oh yeah, $1 million. I'm all the way across, man.
I don't know, man.
But say one of them situations. Have you seen those videos of like the tower workers? You know, climbing up the radio towers.
Yeah.
Like 1,300 feet in the air with no harness or anything. They call it free climbing.
Jesus.
And they said in the one video it's OSHA approved, which the fuck it's not.
No, it's not. It can't be.
But anyways.
OSHA just don't give a fuck about you, do they?
There ain't no inspector coming up there checking y'all motherfuckers. So
he's just like, yeah, it looks good. Do
looks
whatever
good
the
from
fuck
down
you
here,
want.
sir. But, you know, watching those videos and stuff, I mean, I asked my wife one time, we were talking, I said, for $1 million, you wouldn't climb up that radio tower and get it. If they said, you climb up there, you get the bag. it's yours. No taxes taken out, nothing.
Could you use a harness?
Oh yeah, whatever you got to do. But it's up there. Go
Hey
get
man,
it.
you go up there and get that bag. I'll split some money with you.
Yeah, that would be me. But if it was one of them deals where it's either you or nothing,
Yeah.
could you? God damn, man, I would want to, but I'm
Well,
not.
I mean, you've seen that video of the guy that can climb. It's like a light. It's a radio tower that just has a blinking light, and every once in a while they have to change that light bulb.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's like
Those
once
tower
a year.
workers.
Well, they do have a harness. He has a little belt that he wears, and he hooks it in, and he climbs up, hook it in, climb up, hook it in, climb up.
yeah, I know what, but I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
You get 1,000 feet up, and
Well-
then you freak, and then you're froze. Your body, you know how your body acts whenever you're getting really out of your element, and
Right.
You're so nervous you can't do anything. You get
Right.
stuck. What if you get stuck? Nobody
It
can
happens.
come get you.
It happens. No, they would come get you.
A helicopter's gonna come get you.
Not a helicopter. It'd just be somebody. They would come and get you and tether you to them. And
Okay, so unless Mark Henry's climbing up there and throwing my 220-pound ass on his back and climbing me down, if I got stuck, I'm not coming down.
I live here now. Send all my mail up here.
Oh, I don't know what I'd do, man.
You
It
could come back
freaks
down.
me out thinking.
I
about
climbed I think it was a 75-foot or 100-foot ladder back when I was trying out for the fire department. It was downtown. I tell you this much: you have to pace yourself when you're climbing a ladder like that.
it. Oh yeah,
It's not like I'm just going to climb this thing and just get up there. It's like you probably climb about maybe 100 feet, and you have to stop for a second and just gain your bearings because, like I said, it's just you don't realize it at the time. Of course, we were timed. We had to get up there in a certain amount of time. They were like, "There's no time coming down, just getting up there." So just go steady pace, 1 foot at a time. Tick tock, like you were climbing a normal ladder, and just look at the rings, look at the rungs.
yeah.
And that worked for me. When I got up there, I looked, and it was weird because it was like being on top of I was higher than the little bypass area, like the little overpass that was there. So you're higher than that. So you can definitely see all the like downtown and like all the way like towards, the trees and stuff. You can see the top of the trees all the way in the highway, Highland going all the way down.
Man.
It was like, wow, this is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, being that high up, man, that's like what, 10 stories? So you,
Has to be. Maybe a little further.
100 feet, that's 10 stories. So you're 10 stories up. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, and then you get to see it, like I said, seeing everything. But man, that was the scary part, was coming back down.
Yeah.
Like, because then you're like, crap. And then you get done, that adrenaline dumps, and you're like, oh, my legs are jello. And all I did was climb a ladder at a slow pace.
Well, the thing about that is too, was it one of them deals where most of it was straight up, or it's just so much of it?
It's at a slight incline.
Yeah.
Like, like this. Maybe like a 20-degree angle.
Well, it would probably be a booger bear too, because you're probably all tense, being nervous, and then all your muscles are fucked up anyways, and then you got to climb and use them.
When you're on the extension ladder, have you ever been on an extension ladder?
Well, yeah.
Like, how like you have those certain areas that's 2 rungs together because it's got the front and the back?
Yeah.
That was kind of like what it was. There were certain parts of it that would have 1 rung, but then you'd hit an area that had 2 because it it's like a tripod like ladder.
Yeah.
So you'd have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then you'd hit like 2 or 3 rungs that had 2 spaces there, and you're like, 2? Okay, that's weird, and then you'd have to get your footing again for the next one because it would narrow down a little bit as you went up. It was pretty crazy. I wouldn't want to do it all the time, but they definitely had some people freak out. One guy got up there and they had a bell at the top of it. You were supposed to ring when you got up there.
Uh-huh.
And this one guy got up there and he was so nervous and shaking so bad, he hit the bell and it fell off the top and fell all the way down and hit the hood of the fire engine.
I bet that freaked his ass out.
Well, then one of the guys was like, damn it, because they knew one of the guys that had been on with the department was going to have to go up there and hang the bell again. Like, dang, who's going to go up there and hang it? Because they didn't want to bring the ladder all the way down. So, yeah, somebody went up there and hung the ladder. I was like, oh, that's funny. But it was good times, man. There's days I wish I could still do that because that was the fun part. Like, because it wasn't just you having to climb a ladder. It was guys around you going, you can do this. You got this shit. Let's go, man. And people were hanging out and joking around. And, of course, the guy that knocked the bell off got a razz. And, it was like being in high school again, So
I wouldn't want to be in high school again.
I would.
I fucking hated it.
Dude, I was so... I know this is going to sound... Hold on, let me hit this. Let me see. Where is it at?
Back in 82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
All right, so it's going to sound a little bit like Uncle Rico here. But like in high school, my senior year was awesome. Like I didn't have anything really going on as far as like I had 2 real classes. And because I had all my stuff in that I had to have except for English, because you couldn't take English 4 until your senior year.
Yeah.
So I take English 4, and I think that was it. I think I had all my other core curriculums down. So like my day went like this. I would get up, go, because I hurt my knee and I wasn't playing football anymore. So I'd go to, we didn't have communications class back then or something I could study media. So we had theater arts and public speaking. So my day would start theater arts, weightlifting, English 4, public speaking. And our theater arts and public speaking teacher was the same one. It was done in the auditorium. And she was like 7 months pregnant. So like by the end of the
she
day,
don't want to do shit.
by the end of the day, she didn't want to do anything. And I didn't blame her. So most of the time, and let's be honest, public speaking for us, like the people that liked wrestling, I could get up there and cut a Mike's bill. 2 minutes on what? Deodorant? Deodorant is a great product. It has been, I just had to do a little research on when it was made. It has been made since the 1800s when settlers used lye and blah, 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 you know. And I could bullshit for a good 2 minutes and be like, all right, thanks. 100? Awesome. But then the next year it was like, same thing. Theater arts 2. No English. This time it was weightlifting, art, and public speaking.
Damn.
That was it. And but the funny thing was, you know, I wasn't a popular kid in high school. I mean, I wouldn't say I wasn't hated. I wasn't like a dweeb or a nerd or anything. But when we had our reunion, like I was one of the people, like one of the guys that people were gravitating towards. Like I was way more fun when we come back. I guess because it's like, well, I've been married for so long and I have, you know, grown up and I have a kid on the way and all this. So I got a lot of life experiences. So I was like, fuck it. I don't care if people don't like me. I'm just going to have a good time. I had a good time. You know, I had a blast at our reunion.
Awesome.
So, but I was way cooler at the reunion than I was in high school. So I feel like if I had another shot at it, I'd be all right. I'm
kind of glad the way high school went for me. Just 2 years.
Old Doogie Howser over here. You were homeschooled, right?
Yeah. The last 2 years, I convinced my mom to...
Just let me stay at home.
Oh, no. I actually had the guidance counselor... blessing at Southside. You know?
Look, we already know. If you go homeschool, these grades won't count against us in state records.
I can't keep passing. Seriously,
you wrote Mount Rushmore for every damn question. It was a physics. It's a physics test.
I just, man, my grades really improved though. That was what I needed, man.
Just to stay at home.
Well, no, I function better in my environment opposed to being. It's weird. I don't really like if I'm not interested in something.
Yeah,
I could give a fuck less.
That's everybody.
No, you don't understand. Like you know that you have to.
No, I have the same problem. If I'm not interested in subjects, I'd nod off and I'd disconnect completely.
How many F's did you get in high school?
None.
Okay, there you go. I'm a little bit more severe. Like I knew I needed to do the work, but I couldn't make myself care enough.
Well,
to do it.
When we were in high school, most of the times we had 90-minute classes.
Yeah.
So
4 a day.
We would have our homework assignment. I never studied in high school, not once.
Me neither.
I studied. Me neither.
Me neither.
Me neither. Neither's a word, right? Neither. No. You're just watching videos, aren't you?
You talking about fucking high school reunions.
I look over it. I'm looking. Oh. Yeah, you could contribute.
No, you're like, well, I had fun at the reunion. I was married at that point. And this fucking guy with a motorcycle. Oh, how'd your reunion go again?
Remember how I said Don't pay attention when shit don't interest me.
Case in point. Look at that old man fall.
Why were
Look
they
at that.
standing on a teeter-totter?
Why are
any
them
damn
old
ways?
man on that?
I want you to hit stop on this video so we can actually have a conversation.
Watch this asshole.
All right, hit stop because we don't have a visual here on this one.
I want to keep going with the visual
It's an hour-long video.
of people fucking up.
Yeah, that one guy, she said, boom, he tried to pick up like a bar stool or a bar
He
table.
was real tired.
Yeah, he picked up a bar table and picked it up over his head, and he was like, "Oh no, I weigh 135 pounds, and this weighs 140," and fell with it right into his face.
Oh, good times. Good times.
I mean, we could end the show if you'd like.
Oh, you think? We've been
mean-
going like an hour and 20 minutes.
Well, I mean, an hour straight. That's
I need new glasses.
you get blind as a shit-eating dog over there.
Hey, shit.
You done lost your vision. You done ate so much shit.
God, I'm not going to be able to unforget that now.
My she always used to do snuff, and my family has an imitation of her. Talk like this right here. I was just a shitting dog. Because she always had that dip of snuff in her mouth under her lip.
Rooster.
And she would look like this right here.
That rooster sniff.
Yep. You know, like a,
It's
like
all your fault.
look like a
You're the
shitting
reason
dog.
this happened.
You're the reason this happened.
Don't ever come over my house again. She didn't say that, but I
No.
didn't.
You didn't for a
For
while.
like a week.
And see, I didn't know that happened, and I was just sitting there going, "Why would he want to come over? I hurt myself."
Yeah, that's why.
Well, mystery solved.
Yeah.
Well,
aren't you glad now? You know?
why? Because hey, your grandmother was a son of a bitch. I don't want to say cunt, but I will.
I'm giving her respect.
But that cunt called me. She told me I look like a shit-eating dog. Then she told me this was my fault. I wanted to tell her to go fuck her old ass. I was afraid it would ruin our friendship.
Man.
No, man, there was times where I just wanted to do the same thing. I just
Not come home for a week.
Ooh. It got bad there towards the end. But no, and she was in and out of the hospital a lot.
Yeah.
Like towards the end. So it was like, it's always, you never see that kind of thing happening when somebody dies, especially if they're in the hospital a lot. Because you see them come home from the hospital.
And you think that's a milestone.
Okay, right.
She's overcome.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you see them back and forth, back and forth. I think every death that has shocked me, it's been like, it shouldn't have shocked me.
Yeah.
Because, like, especially those types of things, it's like, well, they're just always in the hospital and they come back and they're fine. Like, she was one of those. But there towards the end, when I knew it was really bad, was when my mom told me that she forgot that I was an adult. She asked my mom if she was where the baby was and why she wasn't feeding me.
Oh, Lord.
That she better be feeding that baby.
Huh.
And it was me. And
Yeah.
she told her, she was like, Richard's a man now. He didn't graduate high school. And she's like, no, he ain't. Would you sit over there and lie? You know. And,
Damn.
yeah. But that was towards the very end. But man, she had so many health problems. I'm surprised she lived as long as she did.
How old was she?
I want to say she was like early 70s. I want to say. But I mean, she had a brain tumor.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she had to have brain surgery. That's why her hair was really thin too.
When though? Like
when I was like 2, I want to say.
Oh well, fuck! I didn't know. Yeah.
No. She had a brain tumor, and they had to operate her.
That.
Yeah, they had to operate her on her, and she had diabetes.
Yeah.
And blood pressure problems, and they would mess up her medicines all the time. But I'm pretty sure she had some mental things going on too. But by then
she
they
didn't have it wasn't Alzheimer's or anything.
It wouldn't shock me if she did have some early stages of dementia in there before she passed.
Well, that's because you're saying
right.
She, and that's how a lot of them act. Like my grandma, she went back to when her and my grandpa had just got married.
Right. Yeah, I remember your mom told me some of that stuff. I hated that too, man, because like I said, that's tough. That's tough more. That's like one of those diseases. It doesn't like affect you at the time, but it's everybody else. You know what I mean?
The good thing about that disease though is you don't know it's happening to you.
Right.
In your head, it's all normal.
Right.
So at least If it happens to you, then you're not going to know.
I guess
So,
the thing that freaks you out about it, you don't know. But
you said the right thing though. It affects everybody around you.
It gets, and see, basically, the things that your brain does for your body voluntarily, like the things you don't have to think about to do, it just starts forgetting how to do those.
Yeah,
and that's actually why the disease is deadly. It's not the fact that you just forget people and then you pass away. It's just
everything.
Yeah, your brain forgets how to do everything. But so. Good note to end our show.
Oh yeah. Well, it's been, might as well end it on some bullshit.
We started on bullshit. We'll end it on some bullshit.
Shit eating dog.
Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Oh no, man! I'm gonna go home and look up some therapy videos, see how to properly deal.
Therapy or like porn.
Well, I mean, you deal with your trauma the way you want to, and I deal with trauma the way I want to.
I guess, this is 2 weeks out. We have just finished our big week here. Hopefully, if he didn't forget us, the Jeff Jarrett interview will be next week.
And we swear to God, it won't be anything like these last two shows.
No.
It'll be great.
In fact, I want to say we've been preparing for it. We have been off and on. I can't really blame these two past shows being shitty on those as preparing. I think we have, like I said, a 2 week span here where we're going to be seeing each other a lot. We should probably just record ourselves every time we're around each other because we go through so much stuff that could be show material that, when we plan too hard, it's like we don't do as well. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
What did we have for this one episode? One video that we were going to talk about. And we ended up talking for now an hour and 6 minutes.
We didn't watch the video till 40 minutes
in. Right. What did we cover in this episode? You remember
I really
anything?
don't know.
We covered a lot of ground. Dangerous situations. You shaving your head looking like a calico cat.
Shit-eating dog.
A shit-eating dog. Which tells you about who's dog people and cat people in our families. What'd you do to your elbow there?
Where?
On the side.
Oh, a shit-eating dog bit me.
You dog bit you?
Yeah.
That's a big bite mark.
Yeah, it is. Well, what happened was...
Wait, that looks like that is like half of your forearm.
Yeah. She's a big dog.
Yeah, I know. I remember when you told me she didn't bite.
No, I was wrestling with her, and she kind of got up under I was in the floor wrestling around with her.
Yeah.
And she got up. I was fixing to get up. I was pressing my arms up, and when I did, she went under one of my arms, and it was just like a little nick. But where she nicked me was that fucking vein in my arm.
Did you bleed a lot?
No, it didn't bleed at all. It's
all internal.
No, it swole up like 2 inches off of my arm.
I can see the bite mark all the way around your arm. That was more than a little nick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look, it goes like this. It looks like a human bite.
No, it was a dog.
Look, let me see. Let me show you. Look. It goes up through here. I can see the teeth marks.
Huh.
It's red, like a bite mark. I don't think she nicked you. I think she was trying to end your life.
Well, either way, I'm still here.
So did you look at her and go, ribs or face, bitch? You getting hit in one of them.
No.
No, you didn't?
Well, I mean, I was down in the floor wrestling with her.
Well, you should have kicked her ass.
You play with a snake, you're going to get bit.
You get bit and stand up and just give her a swift kick in the ribs.
No, I bit her back.
What would she get like upset if you punched her? Would she be like, what the hell was that?
No.
Oh, you've done it before?
No.
Alcoholism.
No.
Come here, you son of a bitch dog.
She's really playful.
Right.
So she would probably just think I was joking with her.
Man, that hurt like hell, didn't it?
The only time she ever gets like to where she's not going to cooperate,
right,
is if she knows she's in trouble. Like if I come home and there's trash all over the floor and she's been in the trash can,
right,
I look at her. If I go to spank her or something,
yeah,
she'll get mad, like, oh God, and then she'll go in the other room. She'll bark at me when I spank her, but she'll get up from wherever she is and go in the other room. But if we're just like wrestling around or something,
right,
shit like this will happen.
She'll bite you really hard on the arm and bruise you up. How long ago did that happen?
A couple of weeks ago.
Oh wow, you're getting old. You don't heal up very fast anymore.
It very well may have been a week. I really
could
don't
be
know.
infected too.
Oh yeah.
If it happened a couple weeks ago and I see that there's still marks there, That whole
Richard-
shit about your dog's mouth's cleaner. No, it's still got bacteria on it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know when it happened. In my brain, it was a couple weeks ago.
Right.
That don't mean shit.
Right.
So-
It could have been yesterday.
And it wasn't yesterday. I think it was actually last Thursday. Because Friday
4 days ago, or like
Because it happened Thursday, and then I remember looking, and it was swole up. I said it was swole up off of my arm. That's when I thought she bit the vein or something because it was so far away from my arm. But you're not understanding. She didn't break any skin. Like it was like a pinch, and then this little tiny dot right here.
Yeah, where it looks
that
like
one
skin's
tooth
broken.
went.
Yeah,
that was it.
You didn't bleed at all.
No, it didn't bleed at all. I mean, you see right there.
Yeah.
As it swole out, that's when it kind of got like that. But initially, it was just a little.
I think I'm gonna start talking about this. This can't be entertaining.
Yeah, you probably should edit all that out. Sounds like I'm fucking living with Cujo. And you're like, so when did that happen? Has she been
I don't
vaccinated?
fucking know. I black out all the time. Just wrestle my dog. do you oil up and put on a singlet? Come on, you son of a bitch, let's do this.
No, I don't wrestle like
collegiate.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Got your headgear on. You should have put some fucking arm gear on. Probably need to tape up now with your arms so you don't bite a vein and kill your ass. It's a bit a sad way to go, and you have to have that in the paper.
I would just put a tourniquet around it and go to the hospital.
You'd lose your arm probably.
Oh, well.
So we were always told, like in high school, if you put a tourniquet,
I'd get me a check for the rest of my life. Sure would hate that.
Is that truck stick shift?
Yeah.
Truck goes to Dwayne for sure now. You can't drive it. All right. Well, Josh, go ahead and give them all the bullshit.
Well, fans, let's tell you now. The bullshit is you listen to us blab our fucking mouths for about 71 minutes now. And if you enjoyed that, you can keep up with us by going to our Twitter page. We are at P3 Radio, the number 1. Or you can give us a text, leave us a voicemail, call us up, complain, tell us how much you hate us, tell us how we need to shut up talking about killing animals or whatever at 731-300-6675. And if you want to get us emailed up, get in the email thing, our email is p3radio, the number 1, at gmail.com. And like you said the last time, if you are over 70 years old and you still use Facebook, we are Pop Poncho on Facebook. You'll see our little picture there. Mm-hmm. We'll be all up in that shit.
Well, we've had a great time this week. Hopefully next week we will have Jeff Jarrett on the show. Fingers crossed.
My legs are even crossed.
Till then, we will be back here, same time, same place next week. For Josh Brawley, this is Richard Mulligan saying thanks and good night.